Hey guys, it's Raven and we're back with another video. Today we are finally doing our Domo bag tutorial. So for the tutorial, I'm teaching you how to make the haversack version. However, you can also manipulate it to your own liking. For example, you could not make the flap and attach maybe like a tote bag instead, or like a sling bag like this. And I'll also be showing you how to make the body, the flap, and the lining inside. Yeah, and I've also included how many stitches to make. However, this pattern is made to measure, so if you feel like you want it bigger, you want it smaller, you can adjust it on your own. Yeah, this is just how I made mine, but you don't have to follow. Yeah, and if you do make a Domo bag with my pattern or video, I would appreciate that you could tag me in your post or credit me as the designer. And yes, you can sell it as long as you credit me. Yeah, so I've also used canvas strap for the back strap because I feel like crochet straps will take a long time, but you could of course do it if you want to. I also have the paid pattern in the description below, or if you like the free pattern, you can also head to my Instagram. But if it's in the PDF form, it will be like a few dollars to purchase. But yeah, any support will really mean a lot. Regarding the yarn size and the hook size, it's totally up to you. If you're using a smaller hook, you might have to make more stitches if you like to make the same size as me. And in this tutorial, I am not going to be showing how to make the limbs, but it is in my free pattern in my Instagram and my paid pattern if you would like to make one for yourself. I wrote the pattern, but I didn't film or make the limbs, but I have a rough guide if you like to make it. It's in the pattern. Yeah. Also, I wanted to make a disclaimer. If you do end up making the limbs on the side, I recommend you make the face a bit smaller, because if you look at this, like my mouth here, the mouth of the bag is really close to the base, so it will look like this. But if you want to add limbs, you gotta leave a bit of space in between the bottom, which is the base here, and the mouth. So you're gonna make the face smaller than mine, or a little bit higher. I suggest you put lesser stuffing in the hands and more stuffing in the legs for reference. And let's get started. So for our Domo bag, you need lots of brown yarn. Here I have 4 skeins of weight 4 yarn and some stitch markers, scissors, darning needle. I'm using a 4.5mm hook, a big button. I have here red, black and white felt. You're only gonna need just a little bit of it, and some stuffing. And let's get to the tutorial. So with your yarn and your hook, we are going to start making the base of the bag, which in this case will be a rectangular shape, and I will be making mine 25cm by 10cm. So now we're going to start chaining to 25cm or your desired length, and then we're going to start working rows onto the base. Yeah. So first we're going to make a slip knot. And then for me, I will chain 34. So after you've chained your desired length, just chain 1, turn your chain over, and we're gonna do half double crochets throughout most of the pattern. So chain 1 and yarn over and work into the second chain from the hook, which is this one, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through once, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So that's your first half double crochet, and continue making half double crochets down your foundation chain, and I'll meet you at the end. So once you've reached to the end of the row, I want you to pull your yarn and your tail here through the last stitch to kind of bring the tail over to the next row so you can weave in as you go. So from here, you're going to chain 1 and yarn over, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through once, and yarn over, pull through 3 loops. So you're essentially making rows of half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, and we are going to repeat rows of half double crochet until you reach your desired base size. For me, again, it's 25 cm by 10 cm. So continue doing rows of half double crochet until we reach our desired length and width of the back base, and I'll see you guys there. So once you've done enough rows to reach your desired base size, for me I did 34 half double crochets and 10 rows. Right, we are going to do a single crochet across the entire base, chain 1, and insert your hook, kind of like do single crochet all around the stitches here. So single crochet, and at the end here we'll add 2 more single crochets. So the corner stitch here will have 3 single crochets. And just single crochet across. So at the last stitch I will add 2 more stitches, so we'll have 3 single crochets in the corner, and just continue making single crochets all the way until you reach your first stitch made, until you reach your first single crochet that you made, until you reach your first single crochet that you first made, until you reach your first single crochet that you made in this round. I'm almost down to my last stitch, and once you've done the round, I did 2 stitches in here. This is my first stitch, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. Now we'll start working into the back body. So this is our back base, the nice, the right side. And in order to create like a clear line of the base and the body, we're gonna work into the back loops only. So the back loop is the one away from you, and this is the, so like, let me show you. So this is the front loop, and the one away from you is the back loop. So we're only gonna work into the back loops, which is the ones on this side, so that it will kind of like bend upwards instead of this way. Yeah, if that makes sense. Okay, so here we are going to chain 1, and we will start half double crocheting into this stitch. So here, so I slip stitch into this stitch, so we're working into this one. Here, yarn over, insert your hook into the back loop, which is the one away from you, yarn over, pull through once, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. So for this round, we'll just continue and repeat doing half double crochets in the back loop only. So just continue doing all the way around, and I'll meet you guys at the start of the first round here. So here, once we've done the full row of half double crochets in the back loop only, so I've done my last stitch here, and this is my first stitch of the round. And instead of slip stitching, we are going to do half double crochets in both loops, so not just the back loops only. Because we're going on to the second round, so no need for the back loops only anymore. Do half double crochet in the first stitch you did in the previous round, and continue doing half double crochets along the round. So as we proceed to making the body of the bag, we will just keep on repeating rows of half double crochet without slip stitching, just working in rounds and rounds until you reach your desired height. And I will meet you guys when I've reached my own desired height. Hey guys, so once you've reached your desired length, mine looks something like this. And I'm happy with this height. From the base here, I made 33 rows up. And now I'm gonna make like a flap. And for me, I'll be using a button somewhere in the middle. Maybe I'll add 2. So, hello, so an edit. When you're making the 2 buttons or the buttonhole, I recommend you don't make the buttons so far apart, because I had an issue where when I put heavy things in my bag, there would be a hole in the middle. So in the end, I had to add this magnetic clasp to connect the middle. So I suggest with either 2 buttons that are closer to each other to the center, or just 1 button in the center, so you don't make the same mistake that I did was like this. The lining was visible. Yeah. You need to stop at one of the ends and then turn your work and work back, making half double crochets like as a flap. And if you are connecting by a button, you need to leave like a hole for your button. Otherwise, you can also use Velcro and other techniques, maybe the magnetic clasp. Yeah, so the ways you would like to cover or close your bag is really up to you, but for me, I'm going to show you guys how to do it with a button. So with my stitch marker on the right here, so you should end at one of the corners. Here. So as you can see, we are already like one row difference from the other row. So here you can chain one and then half double crochet. So from this end all the way to the other end, half double crochet across, turn your work, half double crochet across until you reach your desired placement for your button, and I'll meet you there. So I just made 7 rows of half double crochet, and now we are going to place our buttons and figure out which stitch to leave the hole for a button. And for me, I've decided on 10 stitches from the outside of the flap. So instead of half double crochet, we're going to do single crochet for this row because we don't want our hole to be too big. So chain 1, single crochet. For me, I'm going to do 10 single crochets. If you want to do it to the middle, you can just single crochet all the way to that place. So I just made 10 stitches, and here I have my button. I measured 3 stitches, so we will chain 3, or based on how long your button is, and then skip 3 stitches and single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, skip, and then into the 4th chain, single crochet, and test out with your button. So if you prefer your hole here for your button to be more secured, you can also decrease the amount of chains and stitches that you're skipping here. So for example, maybe for this button you want it to be a bit more secure, you can chain 2 and skip 2 instead. But I think I'm happy with 3 stitches. So now I am going to single crochet across until I reach the other side here. Now I've left with my last 13 stitches on this side. So same, I'm going to chain 3 and skip 3. So 1, 2, 3. Single crochet into this stitch. And now I will continue making single crochets down the row. So now that we've made our buttonhole, we are going to make a few more rows. I'm going with maybe 3 to 4. And then on the last row, I'm going to make a little curve by doing a decrease at the end. So I'll meet you guys when we are at our last row. So I forgot to mention, right, that after you make the buttonhole round and the half double crochet round right after, so based on the number of chains you did here, for me I did 3, I'm gonna do 3 half double crochets in this chain space. Like this. And then continue working into the stitches. So it should look something like this. Ta-da! So continue making rows of half double crochet, and then I'll meet you guys at the last row. So the second last row, I'll meet you guys there. So after making 3 rows of half double crochet after the buttonhole row, instead of chaining 1 at the start of the row, we are doing a half double crochet in the first stitch of the row, and then continuing with half double crochets down the row. So you can continue down the row, half double crochet all the way, and then until we reach the end here. So once you're at your last stitch of the last row, when you do your last half double crochet in your last stitch, you will slip stitch into the same stitch, chain 1, and cut off your yarn. So this is what my bag looks like. The 2 buttonholes here. And now you can also accessorize the border with another yarn. I'm planning to do that. So yeah, let's get on to it. Hi everyone. So this is how my bag looks like after sewing on the buttons. So now your bag should look something like this, or if you decide not to add the flap, you should just have like a blank canvas. So right now we're gonna start cutting our felt design for Domo-kun with 2 black circles, a red rectangular shape, and white triangles. Yeah. So the first step on how to start and how to gauge the size, you need to cut a rectangular shape for the mouth, and then based on how big you want the mouth to be, just cut it to the size you want. And then afterwards you can add on the teeth and then adjust the eyes. So the most important part would be the red mouth, which will be our starting point. Yeah. So after some calculation, I'm going with 6 inches by 4.5 inches. Because I actually measured the picture and it is a 3.75 by 4 ratio. So if you guys would like to alter that, do what you will with the information. Yeah. So I just attached the top half of the teeth, and I'm gonna show you guys how to sew on the teeth in this style. That's only if you guys like this. You can also sew it in your own way. For example, maybe like in and out, but for mine I kind of like go over both in this manner, but you can also do like the in out method. I'm not sure if you guys understand what I'm talking about, but so you're gonna get some thread, make a knot at the end. So I'm gonna grab my teeth and I will place mine somewhere around this corner here. Insert your needle from the back. Something like this. And for me, we will insert our hook, insert our needle back into the red. And then insert your needle into the white. Like that. Making rounds. So you're gonna repeat this for the next 4 teeth. And for me, once I did the 4 in this manner, I did one line back. And then afterwards, when we are sewing against the back, then we will sew one more round. Yeah, and I'll meet you guys once we are done with the teeth. So this is what the mouth should look like. And now we're gonna sew on the face using the same thread. And I'll meet you guys once we're done. So I've just attached the face on, and I'm gonna do a single crochet across the edge here. Hi friends, so for the Domo bag, the lining, okay, we're gonna cut out a piece of fabric that is this big, but times 2. So here I have the lining that I cut out. It's the size of my bag including the base, and it is connected on this side. So 2 of the whole bag, like times 2 together, connected by the sides. And now we're gonna sew the side down and then turn to the base here. So once we sew this, we'll have like somewhat our lining already, and we're gonna sew along 45 degrees here and here, like a triangle, to create the base here. Can you see, like, it's not just like a flat bag, there's like a little base at the back, at the bottom. So we're gonna also sew along a triangle. Yeah, but I'll show you guys how it'll look like. So let's get to sewing. So once you're finished sewing your lining, you should have all the sides connected except the opening, which is the top here for the top of the bag. And now we're going to start sewing along a triangle to form the base. So what I mean by triangle, right? You need to kind of fold your fabric like this. So this is the base, the bottom of the bag. And based on how long your base is here, so for me my base is 10 cm, so I'm gonna get my measurement of the triangle here. I'm gonna measure 10 cm like this, and then I'm gonna sew along that line and repeat for the other side, and you should have something like the Domo bag but for your lining. Yeah. By the way, when you sew the lining for the triangle, make sure that you're looking at the bad side. So this is what you should be seeing, like the non-good side. Sew it along, and then I'll meet you guys right after. So once you're done sewing along your line or triangle for both sides, you can flip it inside out. And this is what you should have. So you're gonna grab your Domo bag, this, flip it inside out. Okay, so once you've flipped it inside out, if there's any ends you don't want to weave in, it's fine because you're gonna put the lining anyways. I have a few here. Yeah. So put your Domo bag inside the lining like this. And if you follow the measurements correctly, it should fit quite nicely like this. Okay, so what you're gonna do now, with your lining, flip it in so you can cover the raw edges here. So my cloth here is raw, the raw hem here, fold it in, and then we're gonna sew on it. Yeah, so just flip it in and then sew along, and then your lining will be done for your Domo bag. And once you've done sewing around, it should look quite cute. I'm gonna flip it inside out to show you guys how it will look like now. And optional, you can also add like a firm base at the bottom to make sure that it kind of maintains its shape, but I think this layer of lining will do for me. Pretty cute, right? Yeah. And now we will get on to making the handle for the bag. So now we're gonna make the handle for our haversack. And first we're gonna leave like a long tail so we can use that for sewing later. And make a slip knot. So we're going to chain 4. And then skip one chain and work into the second chain from the hook. So working into the back bumps, we are going to make 3 single crochets. And then chain 1, 3 single crochet. So just repeat chain 1, 3 single crochet, turn over until you reach your desired handle length, and I'll meet you guys when we have reached that length. Yeah. So here I did 21 rows of 3 single crochet, and we are going to start working into the sides, and then here, and then the sides, to just kind of give it a cleaner edge. So here, chain 1, and I'm gonna work into this stitch here. So the next row. So continue making single crochets down. One row, 1 single crochet. So continue doing single crochets, and on your last row of single crochet, make 3 single crochets in the same stitch. And then this string, this tail here, leave it aside. Do not work over it. And then do 3 single crochet in the foundation chain. So 1, 2, and 3. And in this stitch here, we're gonna do 3 single crochet. Like this. And continue doing single crochet down this handle. So now at the other end of the single crochet row, the last single crochet row here, 3 single crochet in the same stitch. And then 3 single crochet down these 3 stitches here. So this is the stitch we're gonna put another 2 stitches in. So don't work into this one, work into this. And then do a slip stitch. So here we have 2 stitches here, and then the 1 stitch that we already did previously. So we'll slip stitch into this one here. And then chain 1 and cut off a slightly long tail, just enough for sewing. And now we're gonna attach the handle. So once you're finished making your handle, it's also optional to add a piece of cloth to it so it's more secure. And it will, once you attach it, it will look something like this. Something like this. So now I'm gonna show you how to attach it with the tail that we left earlier. Here I've placed 2 stitch markers at the place I want it to be at, 2 stitches apart. I picked the row somewhere around here near to the opening, so it's kind of like central right at the top. Okay, and since I have the lining, I'm gonna make the brown side face the same way as the face does, like this. So grabbing your yarn tail, or if you cut it off, you can get a new piece of yarn for yourself. Loop it through your needle and then start sewing. So here I'm going to attach it like this and then sew multiple times through. This in and out, in and out. Yeah. You can also do the same stitch twice to make sure that it's more secure. So this is what it should look like, and I'm going to continue over to the other side. So I'm just gonna weave my needle in 2 stitches, this, and pull it through, and then continue for the other side. So like this. Since my tail is long enough, I think I can continue, and I don't think I need to use this one. Yeah. So same process. So once you've done attaching the handle, it should look something like this. You can use the other side, the tail, to kind of tie a knot and then weave in your ends. We'll move on to making the straps now, which we will attach near this area and the bottom here. So regarding the back strap, I'm gonna use this canvas strap that I managed to find from another project, but if you would like to make your own one, you could definitely follow something like the back handle and just copy the same steps until you reach your desired back strap. But for me, I'm gonna use this canvas, and for reference, mine is 65 cm long. I think I wanted it to be around 70 cm, but this was the longest I could find. Yeah. So now with our straps, or with the straps that you have crocheted, we're gonna start with sewing the straps right next to the handle. Roughly maybe like 1 stitch away, or like directly here, because if we make it at the side here, it's gonna like kind of easily fall off. So we want to make sure that it's close to the handle or close to the center if you're not making the handle. Something like this, and then all the way down to somewhere around here. So this is the inside, this is the back of the bag, and we're gonna attach it somewhere near the corner here. So on the inside here. For me, I'm gonna use my sewing machine to fold down a little bit here and then sew along this line. And if the bottom here gets a bit too difficult, you can also hand sew or sew with a needle if you're using your crochet strap. Yeah. If you're using a sewing machine, I recommend you try and sew in a rectangle like this to make it more secure as compared to just making one line, and kind of repeat the same method with sewing with your crochet strap or hand sew. Yeah. Hi everyone, so I've made a few adjustments to my Domo bag. Like for my lining here, I sewn the lining to the back so it looks a bit neater. And for the back strap, I realized that it was a little bit too short for my liking, so I started to crochet from the bottom rows of 6 single crochet, and then I cut a long tail and sew it onto this little buckle slash, I think it's a buckle, and sew the canvas onto the buckle also. So now it's longer, and I can even hang like a carabiner or something here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that the tutorial was clear and you guys managed to understand how this bag was made. I hope you guys will tag me in your creations. I would love to see what you guys made, what colors you guys use, what yarns. It would be really cool if anybody out there would like to use like different yarns, like fluffy yarns or whatever crazy yarns you got. Yeah, and if you enjoy crochet content like crochet tutorials, crochet vlogs, crochet market vlogs, do subscribe and leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!